Good morning, Doron. Thanks very much for joining me on Leadership Insights from Tel Aviv. Love to hear a little bit from you around motivation. Be good to hear a little bit more about Driivz in particular, but as an international business with a diverse and international workforce, it's of course been very challenging times. But I'd love to talk about how you motivate the team generally and what more you've had to do in the last 6 months to work during this COVID situation. So perhaps if we could start with just a very brief sentence on the business itself.
Hello, David. Thank you for inviting me. A bit about Driivz. So we've developed a software, the operating system for EV charging operators. We are serving operators in over 20 countries now. The main target of the system is to operate the chargers, to make sure that we have the billing, the customer side, the operational side, but also a lot of energy management. So we combine it all for operators and then from them to drivers globally.
Okay, so again, quite a broad, diverse range of employees that you had to do to deliver that service.
Absolutely. So we have some of the team is in the headquarters and we are spread all over, which is even more challenging now in the COVID period.
Yeah.
But also our customers are spread all over. So it's also challenging to see how do you interact, how do you invent yourself, and how do you invent new ways to communicate within the company and outside of the company.
Okay, absolutely. So going back to this thing of motivation, because that's something you're very passionate about for your business and for the team. So tell us a little bit how you motivate the team firstly, and then let's just say more how you've had to adapt to that in the present situation.
Yeah, so people are always saying that the team is the number one important thing in the company. We really believe so. So, even before COVID, how do you motivate the team? So the first thing is to link everyone together, which means a vision. So we have a definite vision of where we are and about energy management, electrification of transportation. But overall, it's how to create a greener and better world for our children. So this is something that everyone gets attached to and everyone likes. And then the next thing is how can you impact as an individual, as a company, however small or big you are, how can you impact the world? How can you make a change? How can you make a difference? So it's empowering the people that each one of the members of the team can make the difference, can change, can influence. And then it means that we want to focus on what we do best. So if what we do best is software and operation, that's what we do. And that's what we deliver to our customers in the best way without any compromise. And then the other thing is if people understand that they are part of something which is bigger than us and we create something which is so advanced, innovative, and create a change, it bonds everyone together. So beyond all of that, if you have successes, and luckily we are succeeding with getting more customers and having good relationship and providing the best solutions to our customers. So success is a good factor, but then if you tailor the team to the customers, get more interaction, don't isolate them, but get them more in touch with the customers, then they are more kind of intrigued. They care about the team. It's not only about keeping the charger alive, so the drivers happy. That's, of course, the most important thing. But it's our responsibility to make sure that our customers are safe when they are providing our services. And we are providing services in many cases in a country level. So it's about personal accountability. It's about realizing that each employee can make the change. He owns the business side of what he's doing, whether he's a developer, QA, product manager, whenever he's on the sales, on support, everyone is a part of a bigger chain of things that that provides a solution to the customers. So it's about teamwork. And it's about a team that needs to be customer oriented. So we need to make sure that people are aware of the needs of the customer and that they care about the customers, and each of one care about the customers, but also care about each other. So it's kind of a teamwork.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the environment that gets us into a period of Corona, where suddenly we need to spread out.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly everyone is remote. So we have a team locally and globally, but now everyone is globally. Suddenly everyone is on the net. And we've moved in kind of within hours, we moved to working from home.
Yeah.
We are used to working remote, so that was fine. But then we found out that there are lots of challenges, and the challenges is about geographical distances, and it's about how do you keep the face-to-face interaction? How do you keep the corridor talks?
Yeah.
How do you keep everyone aligned together? And that's a challenge. And especially when you're working remotely and you need to keep people engaged. And what about new employees? So we are hiring and you have new employees. How do you onboard them? So normally we brought them in for several weeks of training, face-to-face. Suddenly we need to do training remotely.
Yeah.
So the sessions needs to be more focused, shorter, needs to be recorded. You need to do more preparations, but it's really focused. How do you get the feedback from the new people if they are trained enough or not?
Yeah.
Another challenge. And how do you actually make sure that the new employees are part of the DNA of the company? Because we worked hard to get the DNA to get and create the DNA.
Yeah.
So then we started to figure out, what do you do with it? And we found out that if you put mentors to each new employee, then they can carry them throughout the way. But it's not enough. It's not enough. It's really challenging. And it's becoming even more challenging. So you need to understand the people, but you also need to understand what does it mean for them to be at home. So if someone has small kids and they are nagging, what does it mean? You need to be more tolerant. You need to guide the team of how to find the right place at home, how to get their own table, place for the computer, how they can find some quiet places, but how to interact where you have all the family around. It's really a challenge.
Yeah.
So we've tried to look at that, and in the HR perspective, trying to figure out about new ideas, new things to motivate people, but it moved from farewell for welfare to kind of guidance of managers of how to manage the employees. It's a different way to approach. You can have the normal welfare.
Yeah. I think that's one of the key things that is people perhaps don't understand fully, is that everybody's home situation is different, whether you have people you are caring for, whether that's children or older relatives, whether you have a big space or a small space, whether you have a cohabitation if you're younger maybe. So those are all challenges. And of course, for your business, like many internationally, there are people at different time zones, which of course adds to the challenge sometimes.
Absolutely. And then you need more flexibility. So you need to have more flexible working hours, and you need more tolerance for kids that are running around people when you speak.
Yeah.
You need more video conferencing because, the interaction needs to happen.
Yeah.
And then you start to figure out, okay, so what do you do? So instead of sometimes time-oriented, you need to be more task-oriented, project-oriented. You need to focus on different means of management. So we instantly move to different dashboards and objectives. So I can tell you that I now know about what happens with each one of the employees in a lot better way than before. So we have a lot of tools to monitor, and then I don't need to see how much time they invest, but what's the progress. We see that when you are more result-driven, you actually get to more achievements.
Yeah.
And we talk maybe a bit about what happened throughout the COVID period to us, but it's kind of an amazing progress in a place of a big challenge. And we found out that we need more visibility from and more feedback, both from the employees and the customers, and more. And we need to communicate more about the ongoing things, the successes, the challenges, the progress. And then you have more interaction with the team. Again, it can't replace real meetings. And what happened is that when we came back from the first wave to the office, we actually moved to new offices. We just moved offices throughout the period. And everyone looked at these really cool offices and enjoyed teaming up. And then second wave came, and I had to decide to split the team to capsules. And it was so sad to split again. Really, people were so sad. I mean, we like to get and interact even more now. And suddenly we need to move to capsules. So you see each other every other day. And then a week ago, we had one of our team leaders came back from 2 weeks. He had to be quarantined just for protection level. And then he came back to the office and he said, I was never happier to come to the office. And he was actually hugging the furnitures. And no, he was so excited to be back after being locked down with the kids for 2 weeks. So
some normality. It's just it's been a challenge, and it's really great to see companies like yours who've really gone out of their way to adapt the ways of working as you've had to do, and to try and work on, as you said, those corridor conversations or water cooler conversations and how to replicate those. But as to close, as the CEO of someone who's ultimately responsible for the welfare and for the motivation of the team, you've touched on quite a few things there, including particularly communication. What have been, or what do you see as the sort of the primary thing that you've had to adapt to change as a CEO to motivate the organization?
It's about more communication. It's about simulating real life things like having dinner together remotely. Having lunch together remotely, or having more interactions, or to encourage people to talk more using different means like Teams, Zoom, etc., just to be with each other. It's about more communications because we lack that. We are human beings. We need interaction. And it's developing tools all over around us. We need to know more, and we need to respect more the challenges and that people are in stress. And we need together to handle this period, but even get from this period as a stronger company, stronger society, hopefully. Really challenging, but also we saw that the amount of work that we have, I can tell you, I haven't worked so hard in my life. It's days and nights. Everyone said so, but luckily everyone is so engaged, both us, customers, potential customers, to make a difference. And luckily we have succeeded also to close deals throughout the period. I think that people are more aware now on the need and importance of energy efficiencies and making sure that electrical vehicles, which is a cleaner kind of a world, will be here and support us, certainly when you have social distancing and less public transportation. And we need that the team will be aware of the change, will be aware of what's the reasoning behind us working so hard. And also that the team will be aware of how much we invest as a management team in thinking about what the people needs and how to empower them.
Yeah. So there's two really key themes there, Doron. Thanks for sharing. One of which is around communications and all of those things you talked about. But starting right from the beginning about the vision is having a very clear vision for the organization that everybody buys into. And from that, you can then maintain those motivations even through these challenging times. So thank you for taking the time out to share some of those thoughts with us.
Thank you, David. I really appreciate that. And keep safe over there.
Thank you.